Okay, so work's done and you're craving something spicy and salty. I know. What I do is snack on Blue Diamond wasabi and soy sauce flavored almonds. They're so good, and almonds are a superfood. Don't deny your cravings. Eat them. Blue Diamond almonds. Crave victoriously.
Okay, so you're between meals and you're craving something sweet, right? What I do is snack on Blue Diamond honey roasted almonds. They're so good. And almonds are a superfood. So don't deny your cravings. Eat them.
Blue Diamond almonds. Crave victoriously.
I always think of you inside of my private thoughts. Can't imagine you touching my private parts. With just the thought of you, I can't help but touch myself. That's why I want you so bad. Just one night of moonlight with you there beside me. All night, doing it again and again, baby, baby. You know I want you so bad, nigga, nigga, nigga. Oh, nigga.
Nigga, 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 nigga.
Oh, I so high when I'm around you, nigga. Kia says she replaces all the babies with niggas, and it makes songs so much better.
Yeah, me and Brandon do this exact same thing.
Baby, I'm yours.
Yeah. That's why we're all friends.
Yeah. Welcome.
What's up?
Welcome to another episode of Jade and XD. I am XD.
I'm Jade.
Yeah.
I'm Joni.
Oh, have you ever noticed that anytime like a black girl gets on the mic, she's like, "Hey, everybody, it's your girl, so and so."
Yeah, I do that. Yeah,
Like it's your girl. Like, okay.
like if I was on real radio, no shade. If I was on real radio, I'd be like, "It's your girl Jade coming from the bush." It's only right.
Hey, everybody, it's your boy XD coming to you straight out of
The star.
Yeah. You already know what it is. You already know how it do.
Yeah, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. So what's up? How was your week?
I had a sneaky spiral of hate.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, I had a sneaky. I had a. Let's start with. I'm gonna start with the bad first, and I'm gonna end with the good, because that way that sets the tone for positivity. Even though this is probably a negative show, but
because I had a terrible week.
Yeah, but oh my god! So it's no secret I am one of the million Americans that has an exuberant amount of student loan debt. And these niggas, Sally Mae Navient, what the bitch wants to call herself, took an unauthorized amount from me.
Oh no. You're not the first person who's told me that recently.
That is almost the equivalent to your rent.
Oh.
Yes.
You can't sneak that on a nigga?
No. Oh, first of all, I woke up because it's like, like I got paid. I had a little money, so, and I paid bills. So I'm like, okay, I'm good. Whatever, fine. And I called them and had them agree to take the money out on a certain day, which they did not. But anyway, and I have a fraction of what they took out. So, I'm going about my day. I get and I don't really check my account often because I have a pretty good spending habits now, but I also was just like, I know what I got. I ain't spend no money this weekend. I was in the house. So I go to work and I go get breakfast, and I just happened to be like, yeah, like nothing was declined, but something told me was like, hey, bitch,
Check your shit.
Open up that app. And when I tell you, it was, I'm still not. It was like
They keep you in the nuts, friend.
it was like Pray You Catch Me all over again. It was like, nigga,
Jesus, honesty coming off of your funds.
literally. Don't you
As you
dare!
walk up to the cashier.
Don't you dare take over $1,000 away from me,
Nigga, but don't sneak it on me.
ever.
That's like butt sex. You gotta prepare for that.
You have to prepare the butt.
You can't just be like, yo, like when I tell you, all my ladies know, you all know, like, you know, when you're getting busy and then they go the wrong direction sometime, you know, because it's a little too eager or whatever. You be like, oh, nigga, that's the wrong. We didn't talk about that first. We did not talk or prepare for that. Can't sneak that on a nigga on a Wednesday. Nigga, that's hotel stuff. You gotta prep. Get out of here. Yeah. That is special occasion. And your birthday ain't for 7 months. Like, you have got to relax.
No, that's literally what happened. And like, normally, and you know, I don't cry for shit. Like, I was like,
I know I know you welled up.
nigga, tears streaming down my face because it was like, I wasn't overdrafted or anything. It was the fact, like, nigga, you took this money away from me. This is a lot of fucking money. And it's like,
It's a lot of money.
Right. And I called them and I was like, that's not what the fuck I told you to do. But then when they do that, they're always like, well, you owe us money. You owe us this money anyway. So.
Yes, but I set up a payment arrangement with you because I can't afford for you to just come and take
Rent. Like, what the fuck?
Like, come on, nigga. You
Like, and then my boyfriend was
roll
like,
it up and people. Oh,
and then my boyfriend was like, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. And I was just like, oh, girl, fuck no. I'm ready to blow this shit up. So best believe on our trek to DC, on our trek to DC, when this live show happens, we are stopping in Delaware to blow that shit up. Mark my words. I don't give a shit. You can put me on a no-fly list.
I was never in Delaware. My cell phone was pinging in DC.
Yes. So listen.
Like, I watched enough Snap. I know how to cover my trip.
Exactly. Listen, I will piss right on the sign.
Now that we can do. You can do. I can't. I have to climb up there and squat above.
So I will take a shit on the fucking sign like, fuck Navient.
Let's go take a shit on the roof and sing Candies I Fly Above. It's beneath me. It's beneath me.
Every man was a woman.
Every man wants a woman.
Every time.
Yo, the first time I saw that, I almost peed on myself. I was like, no, I wasn't expecting this. Every man wants. I was like, yo, this bitch is out of pocket. She's out of pocket.
And then Madison go touch her vocal cords like deeper.
Every man wants a woman. insane. Woo! Candy had to laugh at that. Come on, that was funny.
It was. That shit was funny.
That was funny. I'm sorry. I say it. I'm a Candy advocate, but that's.
And then, okay, so the next bad thing that happened.
So many bad things. It's a celebration.
So then, and this affects a bunch of people. So YouTube. I talked a little bit about this. What's today? Friday. So I talked about this on Wednesday on Twitter, but on Tuesday night, YouTube sends out an email to all the YouTube partners or YouTube community. But they were like,
I'll be joining you soon.
Oh yeah, well, fuck YouTube. So yeah, find another platform, girl. So they're changing the YouTube partnership program.
All the
monetization. Now, I have been a YouTube creative partner for 9 years. And I will say YouTube looks, and I've been on YouTube for 10 years. So like it looks completely different. Not even like optics, but like the rules and stuff is super different. And it only benefits those who are in big conglomerate kind of spaces. Yeah.
Like Tia.
Yeah. Or people who have like huge sponsorships with like companies like cosmetic brands or whatever the fuck. Mm-hmm. And they're typically white people. There's a few people of color here and there, like Michelle Phan, Andrea's Choice, I'm thinking I'm missing some or whatever, but like, or Cheska Lee. It doesn't matter. She has a TV show, but like for some of the smaller ones, like they don't really give a shit about us. So it's just like, they're taking away my partnership. In like the 30 days, they were like, they changed the rules and like, if you can't adhere to these rules, then consider this your 30-day notice. And I was just like, yo, I remember I worked so hard to become a partner. Like so hard because it was super difficult back then. And then about 9 months after I became YouTube partner, it was like they started partnering individual videos and everybody became a YouTube partner. And I was like, well, this is fucking stupid. But it's just like, oh God, like it makes me not want to come back like I said I would. However, this is not what I'm going to do. I'm just going to find another space. So.
Okay.
But you ready for the good news?
Oh, yes.
Girl, I started Beachbody on Demand.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so listen, I'm trying to unfat myself, even though you say I'm not fat. And I know I'm not, but I do want to get better. And so I started Beachbody on Demand, and they have a 21-week yoga program. If you don't know, Beachbody on Demand, they're the people who have P90X, Insanity, T25, which I love, which is super cute. Like if you need a cute workout in the morning, and then you go off to work, it's super intense, but it's an online fitness streaming service that gives you unlimited access to all of those programs, right? And like it's super convenient. You can access it on your computer, your smart TV, your tablet, your smartphone. I watched it on Apple TV because I was doing the 21-day yoga reset, which is, it is so good. I can't wait for you to start.
Yeah, I can't wait to start. I said I was going to get back into yoga, so this will be a really good way for me to start.
And so they have a whole bunch of other programs on any fitness level, so you don't have to worry about like, oh my God, I'm a novice. It's not like overwhelming and not, because when you go to the gym, it's super, what's the word? It not only intense, but intimidating. And they also even offer nutritional help too, right? So it's super cool. But the cool thing is the fact that you need to give the service a try, and that Beachbody On Demand has partnered with us right now for our listeners to get a free trial membership.
Yes.
When you text Jade to 303030. So you don't have to go on the website. You text Jade 303030 and you'll get full access to the entire platform for free. All the workouts and nutrition information for free. Just text Jade, Jade, to 303030. And I promise you, it's super cool. You all should join it with me. I can't wait till you start. And
I'm going to start tomorrow.
Yeah, and I felt really good.
Okay, so work's done and you're craving something spicy and salty. I know. What I do is snack on Blue Diamond wasabi and soy sauce flavored almonds. They're so good, and almonds are a superfood. Don't deny your cravings. Eat them. Blue Diamond almonds. Crave victoriously. Okay, so work's done and you're craving something spicy and salty. I know. What I do is snack on Blue Diamond wasabi and soy sauce flavored almonds. They're so good, and almonds are a superfood. Don't deny your cravings. Eat them. Blue Diamond almonds. Crave victoriously.
You know, it was just like, oh, the only thing that push me through this week was the fact that like working all my frustrations was through this, through working out. So I felt really good.
Well, I can't wait to start. So make sure, that you text the code JADE, JADE, or as my cab drivers like to say, JD, to 303030. That's 303030.
Yeah. So how was your week, mama?
Well, I'm just going to take this spiral right on back down.
All right.
The good news is that I'm working my ass off this week. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's heavier than most weeks. It's multiple caterings.
You posted a really cute spread the other day with falafel. And
yes.
I was mad because, I'd be jealous. I'd be like, I hope she brought some of that shit home so I can eat it.
Listen, that was fun. We did Santana and I for the Culture Catering. Plug. We did we were at the Audre Lorde Project for the Urgent Action Fund. You guys should definitely check out Urgent Action Fund on Instagram, and it'll link you to the website and everything. You can see all that they stand for. They hired us. One of the directors was at Makosa. She loved the food, and so she hired us to cater a lunch event for a bunch of their investors. And they really, really enjoyed it. We did roasted chicken. Like harissa smoked chicken, and we did a falafel and tahini sauce. Mm-hmm. And we did a pasta with ditalini pasta with roasted zucchini and squash, and then we did a really beautiful, colorful green salad with radish and red cabbage and mesclun, and we did a orange creamy vinaigrette. So they really, really enjoyed it, like a thyme orange vinaigrette with honey. So they thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think we'll be doing more. So make sure you guys email for the culture catering at gmail.com if you have serious inquiries for your events, because we have gotten a couple of people who have hit us up and they want us to, and we do. And the thing about it is we have to create menus and, we have to consult with you, and that takes time. You know what I'm saying? Trying to curate. Don't waste people's time. If you're not serious about something, because there's people who will inquire and then they'll dip on you and you're like, I guess you're not interested anymore. And that's fine. But you just have to say, like, listen, this may be a little bit out of my budget, or unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to do this at the time, because this is our livelihood. You know what I'm saying? So just keep that in mind. But I thoroughly enjoy it. And if you're very serious, then we would love to host your next event. But that's the good. So one of my events, the people the damn interns were like completely disorganized. They didn't do anything that they said they were going to do, which made my job much harder. Anyway, had to go to Party City. So I'm already annoyed. I'm like completely annoyed. I was early to the venue, all of that. You know what I'm saying? They had like 36 bottles of champagne. First of all, they upped the event 100 people.
Yeah. Whoa.
So
At the last minute?
Yeah. So it went from 150 people to 250 people.
Holy shit.
Now, we told them ahead of time, you need to chill the champagne because our bartender is going to arrive a half an hour before the event starts because he comes straight from work because it was an after work event. So we're like, our bartender comes straight from work. The rest of the staff will be on site, but our bartender is going to be the last person. And they wanted us to bring additional ice and all of that. So we said, okay, that's fine. We'll get all that taken care of. I get there. It's 36 bottles of warm champagne.
That's disgusting.
So I said, well, this thing starts in 2 hours. They were like, oh, I said, we don't have to, we got to bust a move. All right, I know how I can do this quickly, but I'm going to need a really big bucket or something, and I'll take care of the rest. Okay, yeah, we have a big, we're going to get a bucket on the way to you. Okay, cool. They bring me a bucket that holds about 6 bottles of champagne. Well, what are we going to do with the other 30? So I run out, go to Party City. This is where it began. And I'm going to preface this and be very candid and let you all know that I'm PMSing, but people are dumb as hell. So I've been in an extra shitty mood all week, but people are dumb as fuck. So I go into Party City and I make sure that I look for things before I ask. So I go and I find buckets and I look for the biggest one and I pull it out and I look around some more. I don't find anything bigger. So then I go to an associate and I say, excuse me, do you have anything bigger than this bucket? I need to chill a bunch of champagne and I'd like to purchase a couple of them. He said, summer. I said, what? He said, summer. We have bigger ones in the summertime.
What the fuck does that have to do with me today in January?
I said, nigga, it's January 16th. I was like, I need a bucket right now. Why I'm standing in this? I'm not coming in this store 6 months early to ask you about. I said, you know what? And I dropped the tin bucket on the floor where I stood. I said, I'm going to punch you in your face if I continue with this. I got to go. So I left. I'm like, I can't even say anything else to this man. I literally have to exercise all of the self-control that's down to my pinky toenails, because if I don't, I'm going to snap. So I run down the street, go to the dollar store, pick up 2 big, plastic bins, come back, get mad bags of ice. Yep. I found a dollar store, picked those up, threw all the shit in, put it on ice, put some water in it so that it really gets cold. And it was like, all right, we're going to knock this out. Then I had to get back to the food. But it's you don't prepare for those things because you have clear communication with people and then they're still dumb as hell. And then I have to go and I'm inconvenienced and I'm irritated because there's other things that I'm hired to be focused on, which is food.
Yeah.
And then I encounter the biggest idiot in customer service. So it's just been a very irritating week. It's been a lot of that. It's been a lot of just people just being dumb and stupid. And I haven't had the patience for it. So that just makes for friction. Mm-hmm.
Another sneaky spiral of hate.
And yes, and I'm looking like that big bubblehead, ugly ass creature that's on those sneaky hate spiral.
If you don't know what a sneaky spiral of hate is, Google it.
Yes,
we talked about it on another show that we were on, but a sneaky spiral of hate. It's essentially when a bunch of shit goes wrong.
Everything. It's those days when you can't find your wallet and the cat's meowing and all you hear is your neighbors going ba-cha-cha-ta-ta-ta. Bodega cat. But we're not in the nope.
Don't do it.
I want to so bad.
Okay, go ahead.
Whatever. This is a comedy show. Yeah, okay. I got to get right or get left. Azealia Banks is the only person in the world who I think it's appropriate for her to wear the coolest monkey in the jungle hoodie. The only one. It's unacceptable everywhere else.
I actually really want one of those, but
no, you don't. No, friend. No, you do not want that hoodie. Your big ass put on that kid's hoodie that should be on your fucking you. Never mind. I'm not even
We'll talk about it.
looking like a wristlet. It's gonna be like, you know how Young Bae wears them like unnecessary hoodies because the shit be cut off at atop her titties. Like they be like,
Yeah, they barely cover.
no,
Ariel
not
up.
barely. No, nigga, they don't cover a titty. They don't cover the top titty. They literally
They just lay
her hoodies
across.
come to her clavicle. I'm like, why are you wearing that? It's literally covering your shoulder bones. And so that's what you gonna look like in that damn hoodie. It's gonna be your titties gonna be all out. You're gonna be ready to Central Park with your nigga.
I know.
With your coolest monkey in the jungle.
Coolest monkey in the jungle. It looked like an iron-on.
It did. It was terrible. It was terrible. But yeah.
But anyway, make sure you listen to us on all platforms except SoundCloud. Remember Los Angeles, April 21st. I do want to say that tickets are not guaranteed entry, except for the people who got VIP, which sold out in like an hour. But get there early because get there early.
Get there early.
Yeah, early. Also, yeah, that's it. Do you have any announcements? I like to do church announcements at the beginning of the show.
No, the biggest thing is the LA show. Make sure you guys are there for that. Can't wait to see you. I know a lot of people have expressed that they've already gotten their tickets. So, man. Oh, I forgot to tell you another reason why my week was so bad.
Why folk
I almost tased myself. So I was going up to Crystal's house the other night. It's wintertime. You know, in the wintertime, it's like desolate outside. It's cold. You know what I'm saying? My ass got on a train. And like I'm like, I'm going up to Harlem, like, let me put my taser in my bag. So put my taser in my bag. You know, I always put it strategically where I'll be able to just reach for it if need be. So, this morning, so it's still in my bag. So this morning, my coworker texted me and was like, I'm downstairs. So I'm like, all right, cool. I always have everything ready to go. And then I just have to put on my coat and my boots. So all of a sudden I pick up my bag and my bag starts going. So I'm like,
oh my God.
I was like, oh shit, the taser. How did the thing click on? So I'm like trying to care. I don't know where it is because it's sunk down because I had to put my laptop in my bag. Like it was a lot. So I'm trying to pull things out of my bag. And of course, you're trying not to make people wait for you. So of course, this is all happening at the last minute. And I have to pull the laptop out and I pull out mad shit. And then I hear it again. I was like,
oh my
I have to reach in here and find this thing. And I don't know where it is.
Oh my God.
I found it. I was fine. But I almost tased myself.
Oh my gosh.
My coworker was like, you put your taser in your bag to go to Harlem? She was like, that's so Brooklyn. She was like,
no shade. I need one because I told you this white man was crazy on the fucking train, throwing paint and shit at people.
Not. I will electrocute the shit out of you. What are you doing right now? You got the wrong one.
Word.
Don't let these kind
Word.
eyes fool you. There's a little Naya Rivera there.
Like, what the fuck? But yeah, I need to get one, which means I need to go to New Jersey and buy one because you can't buy one in the state of New York.
I'll take you.
It's lit.
Baby's first taser.
Click, 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 click. It's time for a break. And we're back. Let's start with some happy stuff first. NAACP Image Awards was this week.
Yes, all those beautiful black people.
I know. You know, I remember I really like the fact that they're bringing it. I mean, it never really left, but it's becoming more on the main stage, I guess. Because remember, early in the 90s, it was like a thing.
Right.
Remember NAACP Image Awards, Lady of Soul Awards, Soul Train Awards. Like, it was, those Black award shows were an amazing thing. That's what you sat to watch.
Ozone Awards.
Okay. That's like I lump that in with the Source Awards and
You should, actually.
Yeah. Actually, the Ozone Awards was worse than the Source Awards because the Ozone Awards honored local rappers and local rappers are.
I wore flip-flops when I went to the Ozone Awards, so.
It also does not surprise me that you attended an Ozone Awards ceremony.
I was invited. But I definitely wore flip-flops in a sundress.
They honor like best new like nigga and like best new Crip. Like, you know what I mean?
I told you all the story about the Ozone Awards.
Refresh.
So bust it. I went to the Ozone Awards one year with my sister. Maybe I said on Two Guys and a Girl, which means it doesn't exist anymore. So, went to the Ozone Awards with my sister, and it was Mike Jones and Trey, maybe, I think. No,
like song?
No, the rapper. No, it was, I forget who it was. Mike Jones, maybe it was Mike Jones and Trey, and Trey the Truth, who got in a fight. If I remember correctly, this was a long time ago, man. And like, this is college, and so they got into a big fight, and then, you know, the awards started. Like, they broke it up, but it was big. You know, niggas threw chairs, all of that, and then Mike Jones went into the back, and this is after he lost like a rack of weight, and I don't know what he was on, but he stumbles out to the stage because he's going to present the next award, and the award was for DJ Khaled, and I don't remember what it was for, but he announces DJ Khaled, but you can still tell something's not right with him. DJ Khaled gets up there, Mike Jones steps to the background like people do when they're the presenters, wobbles to the background, should I say, and then DJ Khaled gets up there screaming, you know, like he does best, accepting the award. And then he's like, who's the best? Who the best? And Mike Jones stumbles up and goes, Mike Jones.
Oh my God.
In the microphone. And you can
oh my God.
And when we were like, yo, this nigga is high boots.
Zooted.
And it's not off weed.
He was fucking keyed, bro.
Open doors, kingdoms. Like, So we were like, we were like 1 + 1. He's mad skinny and he is acting crazy. He is coked out. But he got up there and took over DJ Khaled's moment, and it was pure comedy. I will never forget it, and I'm so grateful to have been in attendance.
I always thought he was on coke because you could always tell when niggas do coke about their neck.
Yeah.
Because the coke neck. And he also, when he got skinny, he also had coke bloat around the stomach.
Yeah, that's
area.
always a huge sign. Actually, I felt like the biggest hood rat in the world on New Year's because we played Black Card Revoked, and they said that one of the cards was like, what was Mike Jones' phone number? And I was surprised, like 281330800
It's one of those things like 5678309 or like 48649.
281-330-8004. Hit Mike Jones up on the low, cause Mike Jones about to blow. Before the ice was in my grill, before I got my major deal, these girls didn't give a damn if I was here. Shit, I said before the ice was in my grill, before I got my major.
But about NAACP Image Awards, my girl Marseille won
Oh, yes.
It's literally who I only wanted to talk about because, I stand for the queen.
I stand for Marseille.
Queen of comedy.
Listen.
All, she deserves an Emmy, a Peabody, an Oscar, a Tony.
All of it.
I don't know.
I live for Marseille.
She deserves everything. But yeah, that was that.
From the ozone, though.
Oh, no. Absolutely not. But congrats to all the winners. Bay won. Jay Ellis.
Sterling K. Brown won.
Yes, I want him to play me in a biopic.
Oh. You're younger than him.
No matter. I want Meryl Streep to play me too.
She could.
She really could.
You guys have the same nose.
Listen, Meryl Streep could play Frederick Douglass if you let her.
Good. Some gel. All you need is some Miko style and a wide tooth comb. Let me stop.
Listen, Meryl Streep is gonna play Frederick Douglass one day, and y'all just gonna be up and set.
There's literally nobody on this earth who could play me.
Meryl Streep. She can play anybody.
I don't look like any celebrity, which I'm really kind of happy about.
I feel like... Yeah, no, you don't look like any celebrity.
I don't. It's great.
But Meryl Streep could play me.
She could.
Or Sally Field.
You guys dress the same.
Sally Field.
Living her best life? Wait, why was it the Shade Room that I saw where they were like... What happened to Hohen? And somebody was like, it's called Living Your Best Life now.
I died when I saw that.
I did too.
I was like, it is.
I'm just out here living my best life. It's your girl Jade. I'm just out here living my best life.
Doing me.
Doing me. She ready. Nobody says that but Tiffany Haddish.
Okay, let's skip to something else happy. So Mary J. Blige,
queen,
her birthday was this week.
I know.
And she also got honored with a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Took them long enough.
Now, the trouble with this, she was honored by Puffy. He was the MC, and Andre Harrell was there, who clearly helped jumpstart her career as along with many others. But in her acceptance speech, she said that she was homeless when she divorced her husband.
Mary, girl.
All she just has to do is call us, and it's done.
You ain't never homeless.
Right.
Andre Harrell looks like Mr. Miyagi.
All right. The point is, you will always have a home with us.
Everywhere.
And if you ever need hands to beat that nigga Ken do, it's on.
Gonna live my life, feel so good to get it right. So I like what I see when I'm looking at me, when I'm walking past the mirror. Don't stress through the night at a time in my life, ain't worried about if you feel it. Got my head on straight, I got my vibe right, I ain't gonna let you kill it.
Yo, we can...
On site.
We can rip out them light eyes if you want.
On site.
Like, it's nothing. Just say the words, sis.
Because Mary don't bother nobody. She don't talk about nobody.
She literally don't bother nobody.
Like, because, there's celebrities who just be like, not to say they deserve it, but just be like, girl, you doing a lot. Like,
right. Mary just be like, I'm just over here doing me, living my best life.
Living my best life.
Breaking through. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Know me.
Yeah, exactly. She's carefree black girl. You see the way she dance on stage.
Yeah, she looked like a mahogany card. Like, it is what it like. That's Mary. That's Auntie.
She does look like a mahogany card.
She is. Auntie Mary got mad black art in her house. Okay,
yeah,
she got the nigga with the chains reaching out to the woman with the fro. Like,
she has her mahogany cars on display. Mama. Or sister.
My friend Jamie, I call her the black auntie. She's literally in my phone as Auntie Jamie now. And we all went out to lunch the other day, me, my friend Angie, and Antoinette. And so we went out to lunch. And I said, Jamie, you the black auntie. She had because she has locks, and she went to go get her hair done before we went to lunch. So she got her locks retwisted and put up in the updo and all of that. It was cute. But she be cracking me up. She can throw down with spades. She does the tricks with her cards where you be like, girl, how are you playing? And then she does well, even though I beat her. And she'll hear this. And so I was like, you the black auntie. I was like, you got black art in your house, don't you? She's like, you tried it. She's like, I got sculptures.
Come on.
I was like, nigga, that's black art.
Come on.
She thought I was trying to clown her and said she got the mahogany card pictures with the black American flag and the rope. It'd be like, no, it'd be like, you know what I'm saying? The super black political
Hotep
art. Come on now, the Ankh. You got all this black art everywhere.
Like the nigga holding the world and the woman.
Yeah, the nigga holding the world and the woman holding him from behind, squeezing his chest.
Yeah.
Y'all know what black art is, and I bet 75% of people's parents who listen to this show have black art in their house. Because I know we have a nigga-ass crowd of listeners.
Absolutely. Actually, Thug Challenge this week.
Take a picture of your parents' black art.
Exactly. Or if you have black art in your home, pick it and send it to us.
And your bonus
on any social media platform.
Your bonus is to send us pictures if your parents have plastic anywhere on their couch. I was going to shade them and say their dining table, but mine has plastic on top of it.
Yeah, or your grandparents, whichever.
My mother-in-law came home. She was like, I bought a cover for the table. I'm like, it's plastic. It protects the tablecloth. Thug challenge. Take a picture of your parents' black art. Bonus, take a picture of their plastic couch or their plastic table cover. I'll do mine too.
Okay. Where do we go? Let's address this shit out now. So earlier we talked about the little H&M boy, and we didn't talk about it last week because we didn't want to. But because there's new developments happening, I feel like we can, address it. So if you've been living under a rock, whatever, H&M put out an ad in the UK where it was a children's their children's line, and it happened so that a little black boy was wearing a green hoodie that said "Coolest monkey in the jungle." There was a huge uproar saying it was racist, and celebrities got behind it. H&M issued an apology, which I might say is quite an impeccable apology that I have ever read from a company. And then okay. And then people were protesting H&M and things. And then in South Africa, a couple of stores were vandalized.
Yeah.
Harshly.
Yeah.
They fucked them stores up.
They wasn't having it, son.
And, and further, again, H&M issued another apology and said, we understand where this outrage is coming from. But again, we understand we're working towards fixing the situation going forward and consulting other people to make sure this never happens again. All right. The mother issued a statement, and she went on the Facebook.
Ooh, she should have just kept her mouth shut.
And she said she didn't find the hoodie to be offensive.
Because they don't deal with racism where they at. Ain't no racism in the UK. Ain't no Brexit.
And so anyway, after that, new developments happened. Oh, well, H&M has now developed a position and they're hiring for like a diversity director or something, or rather, because, you know, all companies do that when they put under fire over being racist or
Of course, yeah.
misogynistic or whatever.
They put another white person in charge.
And because of this high profile kind of thing, the mother and the child fear for their safety in their neighborhood. And so now they're being forced to move to a different neighborhood. I have not shared my thoughts about this at all.
Mm-hmm.
Because I needed to fully think about everything. Mm-hmm. And I'm ready to explain my position. I do not think that it was intentional to put the black boy in the coolest monkey in the jungle sweatshirt. I do not think that it was a intent.
The days are getting shorter, and you can feel it in the air. Yes, it's that time of year. Pumpkin is finally back at Dunkin'. It's the cozy you've been craving all summer long, now in your cup at Dunkin'. Pick up all of your pumpkin favorites, like the signature pumpkin spice iced latte, or a pumpkin iced coffee, and bakery items like pumpkin donuts and muffins. Sip into something comfortable to celebrate the start of cozy season. Use the Dunkin' app for contactless ordering. America runs on Dunkin'.
Okay, so you're between meals and you're craving something sweet, right? What I do is snack on Blue Diamond honey roasted almonds. They're so good. And almonds are a superfood. So don't deny your cravings. Eat them.
Blue Diamond almonds. Crave victoriously.
To be racist, because I often don't think that white people have. I think in those type of scenarios, I just don't think that it was that kind of space for it. Not to say that racism does not exist in fashion, because it does, but in that regard, I don't think there was any malicious intent. I also understand that, you know, as a parent, you approve of all of the things that your child wears and does, right? Mm-hmm. And a bunch of people, you know, she saw it and she didn't think of anything of it. Like myself, I didn't think anything of it at first. I could see how the cultural implications would be negative, but my initial reaction was just like, oh, okay, it's kind of cute, whatever. Not paying any mind. What went wrong is two things. White people or big white companies are not culturally sensitive at all to anything. They're kind of oblivious to a bunch of shit. And so for this to be kind of nuanced or whatever, especially in the UK, you know, they don't necessarily well, what are you talking about? Not to say that their racism doesn't exist in the UK, because it does. And as we've learned with Brexit, and a main part of Brexit was racism.
They threw bananas at the soccer player on the field.
Right. I get it. There's racism everywhere. What I will say is that companies lack cultural sensitivity. I also think that the child's mother was very dismissive.
I mean, I just really wish she would have kept her mouth shut.
And she was very dismissive, but I also have to consider culture, because how she said it, probably, and she said it on Facebook, she typed it, you know, people from different cultures or different countries perceive rudeness differently. Whereas we perceived her as being dismissive and rude on this side of the pond, she may not have been feeling that way.
No, I don't think she was rude. I think she was dismissive and ignorant.
Right. I don't think she was. I don't think she's either. I feel like she has some semblance of what racism is, and I guess that she just didn't realize that it wasn't overtly racist to her, and so therefore she felt like it wasn't racist. Do I feel like it was racist? I feel like it was insensitive. I don't think it was much. I don't think that it was this necessary to people pulling from their contracts and things. Like The Weeknd said he didn't want to work with them anymore. G-Eazy said he's canceling his work with H&M, which, by the way, I didn't know that was a thing.
Same.
I'm also just finding out who G-Eazy is, so more on that later.
Yeah.
But yes, do I think it was racist or deliberately racist, overtly racist? No. Do I think it was insensitive and there should have been more, and there should be more people on board to be like, hey, sis, we should really rethink this? Because I could guarantee you that this probably would not have happened on the American side of H&M. The UK don't really necessarily. Yes, there's racism there, but they also have a different. Tend to see racism a little differently, in what I've seen in conversations on the internet surrounding race, especially around Ferguson, that I noticed. So I also don't think that them niggas in South Africa needed to tear up that damn store.
Well, that's the thing. So with that, I'm like, hell.
Hold on, I'm almost done.
All right.
Overall, H&M has their own problems, right? Like exploiting migrant workers. Fast fashion is horrible for the environment anyway. So if you're going to protest, I feel like, you should be a little bit more knowledgeable in things of what other horrible practices they do, and maybe use this as like the straw that breaks the camel's back. But in overall, I mean, shop where you want to or not, but I just don't necessarily think this was racist.
Okay. I don't know if it was racist because I don't know the mindset of the people who were. I mean,
unless if we're just going to assume all white people are racist, we can go with that. But
not all.
No,
lots.
Right. I'm not saying that's the thing because I don't agree with that. But if
what I'm gonna say is, I work in advertising.
Mm-hmm.
Too many people see too many moving parts before things are completely executed.
Correct.
You can't tell me all them people who saw that didn't think about whether or not that was going to sit right. Whether the UK has they handle things a little differently. They have a little different the viewpoint, all of that outlook. You know what I'm saying? They deal with things differently. Racism started in Europe. And I said it before, and it started in Europe. And I guarantee you that every racist did not get on them boats and come over to America, and that's where rednecks and hillbillies and Trump supporters came from. So I have a really hard time believing there was nobody who saw that ahead of time and didn't know what it was or what it could represent. Now, do I think that niggas should have been photoshopping this baby onto Martin Luther King?
Oh, that probably pissed me off.
Windshield flyers? No. Do I think that they should have put the little white boy in the little Ritz cracker. Like, I get the point. I understand. You know what I'm saying? Because it was highly offensive. You put this little white boy in a King of the Jungle hoodie, and then you put this little black boy in a Coolest Monkey in the Jungle hoodie. Come on, son. Come on. But this little white boy is innocent. He didn't have nothing to do with this. And y'all put him in them cracker hoodies. It's terrible. It's funny, but it's terrible. But I think the mother was dismissive, and I do think she's ignorant. I do not think that racism exists in America and America only. And I have a really hard time believing that nobody put eyes on that and knew that was problematic. And so I'm not saying whether you should go and boycott H&M, don't shop there. I can tell you, the clothes are not quality. I can tell you that. Yeah. But I'm not going to tell you whether or not you should shop there or what your political view should be on it or how extreme you should take it. I know personally for myself, like I said, photoshopping him onto a Martin Luther King Day parade flyer is probably not the move that I'm getting ready to make. But I also don't put a whole lot of stuff past white people. White people are not as innocent as they come across, and they're not as doe-eyed and as dreamy as they like to pretend that they are. And sure. That's just the long and the short of it. And I'm not saying it's all white people, but it's a whole lot of y'all who are out there pretending like you don't know what the fuck is going on, and you are just as big a part of the problem.
Right. I always say white people's favorite phrase is, I didn't know.
I'm not a racist.
Right. No, I'm just saying.
I don't see color. You should see color.
Like I said, there's insensitivity there. Yes,
of course. But I'm going to go ahead and put it out there that I think that there was a little bit of racism there. Again, in Europe, they threw all them fucking bananas at that black soccer player. Yeah. That happened over there. A rack of them, bananas. Like, that's bananas.
Yeah.
So, I'm not putting a whole lot past them anywhere. They do awful shit all across the globe. And unfortunately, it was whack. Like, it was whack for you to put this little boy. Now, his mother's response was whack. Yeah, it's your kid, and you're entitled to your opinion. You raise your kid however you want to. But that shit just wouldn't fly with me. The funniest, though, was Major Hype reenacting how it would have gone down with some Jamaican parents.
Oh,
on his Instagram.
Oh my god!
They were like, "Oh, he's a sweet boy. He's a sweet boy." It was like, "Okay, so what he gonna be wearing?" And they're like, "Okay, he's gonna be wearing a Coolest Monkey in the Jungle hoodie." And the father was like, "You playing?" The mother was like, "Monkey, what? I don't carry this boy and go and labor for 36 hours for you to put him in a monkey." And he's like, "Monkey, what the fuck is this?" It was like,
oh my god.
You have to go look at Major Hype's Instagram page and find that video of how some Jamaican parents would have reacted to that, because that shit took me down. I watched it about 15 times. But nah, I think the whole thing was whack. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, and I don't. And South African protesters, like y'all have to. Them employees are gonna have to clean that up. Like they're gonna have to. There are people who make $6.33 at, or whatever the fuck minimum wage is. I don't even know what minimum wage is. $5.15 last I knew. Last I even checked.
I don't know.
I have no clue. All I know is these people working minimum wage in customer service and retail are the people who are going to go clean all that shit up. So we got to find like some better ways. Protest. If you want to protest, don't buy the clothes. Plummet their sales, but don't tear up the store. God damn.
Right. Okay. Kim and Kanye had a baby.
Oh.
Yeah. Via surrogate. She was born on MLK Day.
How fitting.
I know. We do not know the name yet. Hopefully the child's name is Five-O Goes.
You know what I'm saying? just name that baby 5 goes. Or north, south, east.
Right. Or east. Either way, congratulations to the Wests.
What if they name the baby South and then the baby in North end up hating each other later in life?
Oh my God. That way North can go all the time. The North remembers.
King of the South.
I talked to God about you. He said he sent you an angel. Look at all that he gave you. You asked for one and you got two. You know I never left you. 'Cause every road that leads to heaven's right side.
Just a little.
If I was Northwest, I would make Game of Thrones references all the time. The North remembers.
I hope she says that to Kylie.
Tell mommy I did it.
The shame would be if every time North just pops up like a little creepy baby. She never grows up, and she always holds a picture of like old Kylie's face and goes, "The North remembers." Woo.
Oh my God. Kylie looks like Liza Minnelli now.
Oh my God.
Every time I see her, I'm like, Liza with the Z.
She keep going. She gonna end up looking like the cat lady.
Yeah. But anywho.
Congrats. Yes.
Yeah. So Donald Trump.
Oh no. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Donald Trump.
Oh, we don't have to? No. Was it like, no.
No, we're going to talk about this because this pissed me off.
I mean.
So, the White House has an official physician and medical team, and they've had the same one since either 2003 or 2013. Mm-hmm. And Trump had his annual physical, and he is 75 inches, which is 6'3". And he weighed, according to the physician, 239 pounds.
That's a 239-pound lie.
So I am currently 233 pounds and 6'3" and 75 inches. And I don't want to blame it on athleticism because y'all know I just started beach body fitness like the other day. So that is a lie.
A whole fat ass lie.
A whole lie. And this isn't even fat shaming. This is like,
oh no, not at all. You are lying though. Don't insult.
The doctor said he's in tip top shape. However, he takes like high cholesterol medication and has like a heart condition. And
he's shaped like a tip top. He ain't no tip top shape.
Yeah. I just don't understand why this person would put their medical license on the line to lie.
Why would you lie?
To Trump. Because I'll be looking at pictures of Trump and be like, because I know he's tall. That's not a lie. Because even I remember as a kid, what was he? Wasn't he in Home Alone?
Yeah, Home Alone 2, I think.
Yeah, he's always been tall. Even I've seen him before on Fifth Avenue. He's rather tall man.
Oh, gross! You laid eyes on him. I hope you prayed.
Yeah, this was years ago, Apprentice time era. Yeah, I would have never thought. I mean, at that time, I actually enjoyed Donald Trump. He was very entertaining in 2003.
I always thought it was gross.
Yeah, but until he became until I became more fully aware of how gross he is. It all turned off. But anywho, yeah, I know that he's tall, but I know.
No, that was a mistype.
No, people it's so crazy how people lie in this White House, in this administration.
I mean, they lie, man. They just outright just tell. See, this is why I didn't want to talk about this.
I'm just fascinated by it all. Like, at this point, I'm just like, I'm not even angry. I'm more like how? Like, befuddled. Like, I don't get it.
The loudest one in the room, nigga, that's a complex. Let me put it back in proper context. You ain't gotta lie to kick in my neck. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie. You ain't gotta lie to kick in my nigga. You ain't gotta try so hard.
Like, is this all like for Russian? I don't know.
It snowed in Australia. It's summertime there right now.
I don't know. I just we can move on, but it was just that shit is wild. Okay. So Aziz Ansari.
Ooh, okay. Disclaimer.
This is trigger warning.
It's trigger warning, and it's also
the next two stories are triggering. So if you need to take a break and fast forward, until a couple minutes, like a few minutes later, completely okay. There'll be commercial breaks. After the commercial break is when you can come back in. Okay? So Aziz Ansari, you can go ahead, Jaden. You can talk about it.
No, you can tell the story first.
Earlier this week on babe.net, a feminist website, there was a report from a woman anonymously named Grace. And she posted a 3,000-word essay about her encounter with Aziz Ansari. And if you don't know who Aziz Ansari is, he's an Emmy Award-winning television producer, writer, actor from The Office and now on Master of None. She recounts a detailed encounter of going out on a date with him. I'm also truncating this. Going on a date with him, going back to his apartment, having sex of sorts, and in the middle of her saying no, in the middle of it, she says no. And he stops it, and she goes home and she's crying. And she's saying that she offered many nonverbal cues for him to stop doing what he was doing. But he persisted. But ultimately when she said no, he stopped completely.
And said, let's go watch TV with
our clothes on. But she ultimately decided to leave and left in tears. After the next day, he said he enjoyed the evening. She said he didn't. You guys are all the same. He apologized. And that was that. He also issued a public apology and acknowledged the events that did happen. He did not deny anything. However, he expressed that, there was nothing that expressed that there was non-consent there. Mm-hmm. And that's what happened. Those are the facts. That's all I got. There is a question of morality versus legality, right? Mm-hmm. Like, he ain't necessarily commit sexual misconduct and as far as legal ramifications, as far as like assault or rape or anything like that. But there is a question of, well, maybe he's creepy, gross. So it's all I got.
All right. Okay. I'm going to start this off by saying I think Aziz was mad thirsty, pretty creepy and gross, and just real desperate and obnoxious in his approach in this story. And he, you know, he told his account, and he said, you know, he said that it was a consensual interaction, and he might have been pushy. You know what I'm saying? And he said, he also stated that he apologized to her when she expressed how she felt, and he agreed where he said when she said she was uncomfortable and finally said no, that he stopped. So by all legal terms, matters, whatever, all legal encompassing, he is not guilty of sexual assault. He's just guilty of being obnoxious and kind of gross and too forward. But where this is problematic in trying to add this to the Me Too movement is that this is not sexual assault. I am a victim of sexual assault. And it was still consensual. You have to open your mouth and say no. And you finally did. But it's not, you can't go back now and be like, well, I just want to say me too. No, not you too. You were not sexually assaulted. You had a really bad sex experience. And yeah, you opened your mouth at some point. And then it stopped. So you can't put yourself in the same category with people who have not had choices in circumstances. Furthermore, if you have a person who is being pushy and making you feel uncomfortable at dinner, why would you willingly go back to their house? Why would you do that? Why would you put yourself in a further, and this is not victim blaming by any means, so I want to make sure that I'm very matter of fact with that and that you all are very clear where I'm coming from. I'm coming from a standpoint where I am a victim of sexual assault. And sometimes you are put in circumstances and situations that you cannot control. You have no control over them. But you're trying to make yourself a part of a narrative when you made these choices to go back to this man's house after he has already been too eager and expressed to you what he wanted to do. And you still took your clothes off and you still tried to make light of it, made look like, oh, let's chill out for a second. And it's like, no, you were not clear in where you were coming from and saying, I don't want to do this. I want to put my clothes on, or I don't want to take my clothes off in the first place. Like none of that. And I find it to be problematic. I find it to be problematic, especially with real victims. And I'm not excusing Aziz's behavior. I want that to be very clear. I'm not excusing his behavior by any means. But you're trying to put somebody in a same category as sexual predators, people who have blackballed people's lives and existences, people who have held people against their will and forcefully made them do things against their will. You're trying to put that in the same category, and it's just not. So I'm glad you finally spoke up and you said something, and I'm glad things ended where they didn't go in a different direction, but it's still not the same narrative. It's not. It's not the Me Too narrative. And you know, I'm very much a feminist in believing that we should be equal. We should be receiving equal pay and equal rights, and we should be respected and honored for the things that we do because women are so strong. And I also am a firm believer that so many of us have not had voices where it comes to this type of situation, and we have not had choices. And those people are sexual predators, and people like that are victims. This is not a situation where that's the same thing. And it makes people look at the entire movement that you don't understand some of the validity that you're taking away from something that's really actually very important. Not saying that your feelings are not valid, but this movement is about something specific, and why would you try to take power away from that by throwing something in there that people are going to question and look at and be like, and see, this is why I don't want to compliment women, or this is why I don't want to do this or that, because now it's getting to a point where, and I read this article where it said 75% of women now think, or not, I'm sorry, excuse me, let me not say that, 75% of millennials or something like that believe that complimenting a woman is considered sexual assault. That's problematic. Because there is actual sexual assault happening that something needs to be done about. And when you, with this hypersensitivity, with other things, you all are taken away from the real issues. You're taken away from what people are really for real going through with bad experiences and bad choices. And the thing about it is, as a grown ass woman talking right now, I have made bad choices. I have walked away from sexual encounters or experiences saying, yo, that was whack. Like, that was a waste. You know what I'm saying? Or that was just not good. Or like, I just didn't like that. I don't want to ever do that again. I just don't feel good. But I wasn't a victim because I made a choice in those situations. But I have also been in situations where I have not had a choice. And that is where I can say where the difference is as a person who has been in both. And so I stand where I stand with it. I'm disappointed in Aziz. And like I said, I think his behavior was just mad thirsty. And I'm not taking that away by any means, but it is really important that we focus on these real issues, because when we flood them and muddle them and a whole bunch of other stuff, and people are not taking personal accountability and responsibility for the choices that they make, and then they want to equal them with people who don't have those choices, that's when it becomes problematic. And people lose sight of what the real issue is. So that's all I got.
Okay. I hear you.
And you may not agree with me. And there may be people who are listening to this who may not agree with me. But I'm coming from a very real place right now.
No, I hear you. And every feeling is valid. I don't have anything to say, really. Only because what I've tried to do in news stories and stuff like this is try to understand everything, right? Because in this particular story, it's different because it's not as cut and dry.
Right.
It's not a Weinstein. It's not a Woody Allen. No. It's not a Cosby, right? Where there is a black and white kind of thing. This is really nuanced. And so I never given it that much thought. Mm-hmm. So I am refraining from trying to react to it. I will say that peace to the person, Grace. Her feelings are valid, and right. I hope she finds peace in this midst of this storm. And And that's all I can offer. But another story that I've actually been really wrestling with is the one of Paul Haggis. So, if you don't know who Paul Haggis is a director. He directed Crash. Mm-hmm. Paul Haggis also is a former member of the Church of Scientology, and he is one of the prominent figures in the movie Going Clear. If you're new to us, please go back and listen to Niganetics 1 and 2 and however many episodes we talked about Scientology, several, but either way, Paul Haggis was in Scientology for, and it's relevant why I'm saying this, was in Scientology for, I want to say 30 years, but at very least 20 plus years. And as you know, Leah Remini, it was in Scientology. She's not anymore. She has a show on A&E, speaking out against it. Paul Haggis has been speaking about against Scientology for quite some time now. Recently, he's been accused of sexual assault and misconduct.
Rape.
Yeah. And so Leah Remini came out and publicly said, I don't know about this one. And normally, when people are rape apologists, it always gives a red flag, right? Because it's like, how can you do that? The thing is, his ex-wife came to his defense and was like, none of this is true. I don't know where this came from. However, if you know anything about the Church of Scientology, you know that they provide smear campaigns on anybody who speak out against them, as if you're a suppressive person, especially if you escaped the church, right? Mm-hmm. We've seen, and Jade and I have talked about this on the show about how we've seen, or even our own theories of like Dwayne Martin, spearing him in the media about him being gay and having these rumored to be having these sexcapades with Will Smith and stuff like that. As we know now that him and Tisha Campbell were in Scientology. Mm-hmm. And all these other things. Please encourage you to watch Going Clear for this to make sense. Even how they hide Shelley Miscavige and her whereabouts, and even if she's alive or not, we don't even know.
We have no clue.
It's really difficult to figure this out, because why wouldn't the Church of Scientology use this time that we're in to apply a smear campaign on prominent figures who have left the church? Because if you didn't notice, like Danny Masterson, right? He was accused of rape and multiple times, actually. And in the police reports, there was like the Church of Scientology didn't act on it. They're mentioned heavy in the police reports. But have you noticed that his story went away very quickly?
Yeah, it did. And he was accused of violent rape.
Violent, brutal rape.
Yep.
I'll never forget, brutal rape was in the court document.
When I read even violent rape, I was like, my God.
Right. There was also a report of John Travolta assaulting a masseuse or masseur. But did you notice that story went away very quickly?
Mm-hmm. Yep. They take care of their own.
Now, I am not saying that this story is not real, but I'm also not saying that the story is not real. Based on what you know, and this makes it very difficult, right? Because also that we know of watching Leah Remini's Scientology show is that there are victims of sexual assault in the Church of Scientology because they have been raped or assaulted by members of the organization. So it's like, how do you even go about this? You know?
Yeah, it's ooh.
I know. This is a new one. There's a nuanced discussion about Aziz Ansari and how we discuss sex and consent and cues and things of like that and that nature. And there's also of this kind of twisted religious, I don't know what to call it. It's crazy. It's cat shit though.
Yeah, this is I don't want to say the wrong thing with that. This, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying I don't believe it. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't know. I honestly, truly don't know. Because of all of the other things that we do know. Because, when you put things together, you put things together. You know what I'm saying? You start to try to figure things out. But, and this is a conversation that I was having with my husband. I was like, in situations where rape allegations and sexual misconduct and sexual assault allegations and accusations are brought up, it is very problematic to automatically blame the victim and say that they are lying. And I'm not saying there are situations where people have never lied, but so many times people are telling the truth. And the problem is that these are situations where other people are not generally present. And it's really like this person's word against this person's word. And so it's really hard to, unless it's a case like Bill Cosby, where it's a barrage of women coming forward, or Harvey Weinstein, situations like that. But in these other situations, it's like we're not present. So everybody has a right to feel how they feel. And how I feel is that rapists are disgusting. Sexual predators are disgusting human beings. They deserve very bad things to happen to them, and peace to all victims. And that's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah. One more story before we go to break. So Seal, I do. Now, Seal, I know he has like lupus.
Oh, does he?
Yeah, because I feel bad about making the joke about how he looks like a brownie.
Stop. No, stop.
Hey, you said you don't give a fuck about Trick Daddy.
I don't. But that's Trick Daddy don't give a fuck about me.
But Seal and skin issues. I mean, he looks like a brownie. Whatever. Whatever. But the thing is, he sat up here on Al Gore's internet and said, that Oprah has been complicit and knew about Harvey Weinstein's dealings and said nothing. He said that on Instagram.
I don't know how he knows that.
Now, Chrissy Teigen
I know.
said, hey, let's just say we know things about a bunch of people in Hollywood, okay?
Like, keep your mouth shut.
Alluding to the fact, like, nigga, we know about you too.
So you just go ahead and keep them yaps shut.
You should just sat there and ate your damn food. Right? Now, Seal's stupid, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Oprah, you know, everybody, she's entertainment. She's fucking Oprah Winfrey, right? She's going to know anybody who's anybody in the media.
I mean, call it what it is.
Right. But Seal's ex-wife and Harvey Weinstein were business partners.
It's like...
So you can't say Oprah was complicit in Yo Baby Moms because they have a gang of kids together.
Gang. Heidi
Klum has mad kids.
Gucci gang.
Yeah, they have cute kids together. Really cute kids. But like, you can't say Oprah was complicit when your wife was, checks, money is being handled together with them.
I got mad coworkers. I've had hundreds of dozens of thousands of coworkers in my entire life, and I have known very little or nothing at all about most of their sex lives.
Right.
Like, the thing about it is you really have somebody like that. You think they're getting ready to put that on Front Street. Furthermore, I got a picture with Nick Cannon. I don't know Nick Cannon. So what's going to happen way down the line if some shit goes down with Nick Cannon? They're going to resurface this picture of me wearing a lime green mesh top with Nick Cannon saying,
they will once you become famous. You know they will.
And what you gonna say? Like, so CJ was affiliated with Nick Cannon in 2002.
Child, they get on you if you follow a nigga that said faggot.
Right? So like,
you're canceled.
I'm saying you're
guilty by proxy.
You can't come for people because they got a picture with a nigga. And like you said, his wife had a whole fucking business dealings with that nigga, and you can't implicate her because she probably didn't know nothing about what he was doing.
Oh, but then it gets worse or better, depending upon how you look at the situation.
Okay.
He did all this accusing and then backtracked and then accused Stacey Dash. And then
that's a different
subject. Yeah. He's just talking, and then
he's just gonna be hurt. He's a baby.
And then a couple women came forward and said, "Hey. Those who cast stones should not do them in glass houses." Because they said they accused him of sexual misconduct as well. So he is under fire.
When you do clownery,
the clown comes back
to bite you.
Right.
Or your face.
Right. So, Brownie got some explaining to do, so let's take a break.
Yeah.
And we're back. Let's wrap this up, shall we? So, Birdman might be homeless. So now I see why maybe him and Tony are together. They're equally yoked.
I knew there was a reason I opened with that song.
Yeah. So he defaulted on a $12 million loan.
That's not small.
First of all,
why are you getting a $12 million?
Every day a new whip, homie, so you know I gets my shine on. After we homie, so you know I gets my grind on. Birdman daddy, pulling up in that brand new caddy. Got money, living lavish.
Well, that money you ain't paid Weeze or the rest of Young Money. Like, You should. Why are you taking that? Why are you taking out a $12 million loan?
That's what I just said.
Like, that is wild.
Woo, 12 milli.
First of all, who is lending you that? You know, whatever the fuck. Either way, the judge said, "No, girl, we need this house bike." So him and
Tony was homeless once again.
Yeah.
Move the Grammys first.
She's just never had luck with money. Like, she's just always have had, you know, there's these people who are always broke that, you know.
How you bankrupt by association? Like, you just broke adjacent, broke for real, broke in real life,
broke by proxy,
broke over here, broke over there. Like,
right. Like, that shit is so wild to me. Like, she's never been with a nigga with money, or she just never had it. Like, that's so crazy. Maybe
you said crazy.
Maybe, yeah.
Woo.
Like, that is wild. Like, she's just never been like. She's never been, I don't know, apart. Like, I don't know what it is.
Everywhere broke, old Mick Brokeson had a farm. E-I-E-I-O.
But, you know, hopefully they find a new place soon. You know, maybe they could, you know, move back to Baltimore.
Or Magnolia.
Maybe. I don't know. The Gucci Mane has hinted that his autobiography will be a movie.
El Libre, the Human Gato.
Oh, boy. I have not listened to that album yet. Because every time I start, I look at the cover and I'm just like...
Forget it's the cover, it's the title.
It's the cover, it's the title. I did listen to the first track and it's actually very good, but other than that, I just feel like I can't do this.
I'd be calling it all. I'd be like El Nacho, the human perro. I'd be calling it
like, it's just so random. Like, what the fuck?
I can't listen to it yet because I can't take it seriously.
Me either. I mean, like, ooh. Are you back on that stuff, Ray Drake?
Gucci man, I'm out, snakes all on my collar. Brand new winner, big gold, lay low with the yayo. Yellow bone Chicano, her brother call me Kato. These kicks ain't one day old, one rock then they retro. On your much get set go, I'm racing with the peso.
El Huncho, the human Zapato.
Yes.
Ooh, that shit don't make no sense.
It makes no sense at all. That's why I hate Huncho Jacko Huncho, whatever Quavo and Travis Scott called themselves.
Oh yeah, because they came out with that. They came out with that dual album.
Huncho Jack Huncho. I don't get it. Whatever.
This is an appropriate time. Quavo got an album with somebody else. This is a perfect do it look like I was left out Bambushi moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were this time.
Oh boy.
El Huncho, the human mesa. I'm sorry.
But anyway, yeah, that's that story. I mean, I'm not. I don't know if I want to see. I mean, actually, I do. I would want to see, you know, like a biopic of Radric Davis, but I don't think I'd want to see it in the movie theater. Like, I would see it on like Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about that movie I saw with Mystical and Carly Rae? Called My Side Piece.
I can't do
it. Jesus Christ. It is 2 hours and 20 minutes of hell.
You watched 2 hours and 20 minutes of Carly Rae?
First of all, in the first 5 minutes, you see her hairy asshole.
Oh!
And I'm not joking. Because the first thing I saw, like, Pimp C came into my head, and I was like, oh.
Hairy asshole.
I was like, girlfriend, you couldn't get a Brazilian? But probably not in that budget. And the ironic thing about that whole thing is that Mystical plays a cop in the movie.
Mystical. You know what? Nope. We've had
right.
So, but
we've talked about sexual misconduct enough on the show
today. Yeah, that's inappropriate.
But yeah,
but
if you want to watch it, go on Amazon Prime and watch My Side Piece. It's great.
It's not though.
Also, watch Plug Love 1 and 2
and Brotherly Love with Keke Palmer and Corey Hardrick.
Yeah.
They posted. Did you see that video they posted of Keke Palmer the other day?
Yo, there's something wrong with her.
I commented and I was like, yo, mad drugs or something like that. And somebody was like, don't talk about Keke like that because she is a strong, independent Black woman. It's your girl, Keke. I'm here. I'm like, we gonna buzz, bzz, bzz, scram.
Keke is like, her name is Lauren, but she really lives up to like Keke.
She lives up to Auntie Keke at this point.
Like, I'm like, Keke, what is
had a little bit too much
her?
Sauce. That's how she acts. Like, I'm not accusing her or anything. That's how she acts. She act like the drunk auntie.
Yeah, anyway, that's today's show.
Yeah, that was the show.
Yeah. Don't forget to do your Thug Challenge. And Bumblebee Tuna.
What? Okay.
Bye.
This episode of Jade and XD was produced by Abraham Kevin Quezada.
Noah, close the door. Stop it. I'm not playing with you. Close the door. Good night. I love you. Thank you.
Wait, you can hear your friend from there?
I can.
Can I hear her? Hi.
Hi, Noah.
What are you doing?
Do you know who this is?
What?
Do you know who this is?
No.
You don't
yes, you do.
Did you fart? Ew, get out of here. Ew, close the door. God, you're too young. Get out of there. No, Noah, seriously. My God. She smells so bad. My God. Oh, that used to live inside of me. And then she laughs like she's gross, man. Sorry, Abe.
With the new iPhone SE for less than $100 at Metro, you rule. It's the most affordable iPhone on the #1 brand in prepaid. So whether you're studying online or FaceTiming.
Hey, Mom.
Hi, dear. The iPhone SE has all you need. Switch to Metro and get the iPhone SE for $99.99 after rebate redemption and 6 months of service with AutoPay. Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day. Limit 1 per account/household. Requires port and ID validation. Not valid for numbers currently on the T-Mobile network or active on Metro in past 90 days. Restrictions apply. See store for details.
Okay, so you're between meals and you're craving something sweet, right? What I do is snack on Blue Diamond Honey Roasted Almonds. They're so good. And almonds are a superfood. So don't deny your cravings. Eat them.
Blue Diamond Almonds. Crave victoriously.